Yeah, so nowadays, wherever you see, whether it's on social media, on Facebook, YouTube, there's a concept called self love, right? Like loving yourself. So, people are trying to practice it consciously nowadays, self love, and that's a very unique thing, right? But the issue with self love is that self love is something that is done automatically by everybody. Okay, like right from the moment we are born, our concern is regarding us. When will we eat? When will we go to sleep? When will we do our work? What type of work? What type of spouse? Etc. etc. So, self love is something, and it is also something we are being taught every day to do self love, right? Like parents are saying, what will you do in your career? Friends are saying, okay, who are you dating? And so self love is very, very raw, and it's very imbibed within us. It is not something which we have to do, go out and do, but people are too much obsessing over self love nowadays, and the only reason for that is that they are in toxic relationships, right? People after one, after two, after three failed relationships, they realize that they are doing something wrong. Maybe they have been in a wrong relationship for a very long time, and they start thinking that there is something that they could have done differently, and they're ignoring themselves. Especially people who have been in a long term relationship, they start thinking that maybe they are giving too much attention to their partner, and they're not giving attention to themselves, right? And that is where the concept of self love comes in from. But the thing is that you can only love yourself when you see that love is reflected in another person. For example, if your parents did not love you in childhood, if you suppose somebody was there who did not have parents, who was an orphan, so that person has never felt that they that to a certain extent that they have the love that was required for them in their foundational years. That changes how your subconscious thinks, that changes how your brain operates, right? And somebody who has been in a very chaotic family, for example, for where parents used to fight, where parents used to always have chaos and arguments, that person grows up to having some issues in their relationships in life, because they were not taught that what a healthy relationship looks like, and what a healthy self love is supposed to look like, because they always had to over compromise, etc. etc. So I'm not speaking from a psychological point of view, but this is the pattern that is usually seen in society, right? But when you have a partner in your life, and who is supporting your growth, and who is supporting your mental state, then you automatically start loving yourself. This is why it is so important to have a relationship in life. This is why it is so important to have a healthy relationship in life, because when you see that you are being treated nicely, you start to treat yourself more nicely. So self love is something, it's like a mirror. It's like when you see somebody, and you see a reflection of yourself in them. This is a very deep fact, but it's a real fact. When we see somebody, and whoever it is, maybe it's your colleague, maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's your boyfriend, or maybe any other person, yours a part of your brain attaches, and in subconsciously they reflect a part of yourself to you. Okay, so it's very important to find the right people in your life who help you love yourself, and that doesn't happen by isolating yourself from other people. It actually happens by associating yourself with other people. It happens when you find people who support your growth. That's what true self love is. Finding people who support your growth, not isolating yourself and going on spas and retreats and going on a facial massage for one day. That's not self love. That's just like a single day pampering for yourself. That's okay, but self love is a concept which is so vast, and it cannot happen without other people. Like when you care for somebody else, when you share your love with somebody else, that is also the time when you start to think, okay, yeah, I am a good person because I'm doing this for somebody else. You start feeling good about yourself because you're sharing your love with someone else, and that is so important. That is the foundational crux of self love. And love is something which only grows when you share it. It's never like, if you just keep it to yourself, it will never grow. So my point is, you need other people, you need things to love. Love your dog, love the plants in your yard, or in your in your vase. So wherever you are, it doesn't need to be another person, but love, self love, is only begun when you start to share it, not when you hoard it. So remember that. Yeah.